West Ham get spanked by Spurs, and Liverpool and Man City, well, it's become a two-horse race. Watch this video. Hello, welcome to I'm Edson. I hope you're all well. So this is week 8 of the Premier League, a review, and all we can say really is that Liverpool win again, Manchester City win again. I predicted that they would. Actually, this week I got a 70% hit rate on my predictions, so not too shabby there. But Arsenal lost, they gave up some ground, but the two teams that are really forging ahead here, that clearly have some resilience, are able to get those results week in, week out. Manchester City and Liverpool, these are the two teams for me that seem to be right at the forefront. Now, this is not to say that Arsenal can't come back into it. This is not to say that any other team can't come back into it. But when you take the likes of Chelsea, took a bit of a knockback there. Arsenal, they've stumbled. Aston Villa still piling on the pressure, but let's not kid ourselves. They're not going to be title contenders. I can only see two teams right now, Liverpool and Manchester City, who are bidding for top spot. But what about West Ham getting absolutely spanked by Spurs? First half, actually, they were given as good as they got. Both teams are playing pretty well. It's a decent game to watch. Second half, West Ham just completely capitulated, completely surrendered, completely were void of any attacking intent, and Spurs just went through them like a knife through butter. So what is Lopetegui's plan? What is the master plan? What are we still waiting for? What questions are we asking of Lopetegui? Are we waiting for something to click? Are we waiting for these players to suddenly gel and there be some kind of team there? Because right now, it isn't working. And West Ham fans are still asking the question. Well, they're asking a couple of questions. Why did we employ Lopetegui in the first place? And when is this ever going to kickstart? When is this season ever going to get off the ground? Because at the start of the season, West Ham fans and many fans objectively were looking at the signings that West Ham made pre-season and said, yeah, West Ham have had the best transfer window. They've actually bought some cracking players here, but it just hasn't happened. So is this a manager's fault? Is this the players' fault? Is it collectively an issue at West Ham? Who knows? Who knows? But Spurs, they were allowed to play their Ange ball in the second half. They came away with the spoils, and West Ham, well, egg on their face. So let's get into my predictions of the games and then the final results. Well, the early kickoff on Saturday was Spurs at home to West Ham. I thought it was going to be a 1-1 draw. Of course, I was hoping for a cheeky away win from West Ham, but I thought it was going to end up in a draw. But no, I was proven completely wrong. A spanking, Spurs 4, West Ham 1. Next, Fulham against Aston Villa. Fulham at home, I thought it was going to be a away win for Aston Villa 2-1, and it ended up being 3-1. So Aston Villa keep on going from strength to strength. Next, Ipswich Town at home to Everton. I thought it was going to be a 2-1 win to Everton, and indeed it ended up being a 2-0 away win to Everton. Manchester United at home to Brentford. I was actually looking at a Brentford away win here 2-1, but it ended up being the reverse. Manchester United 2, Brentford 1. Newcastle at home to Brighton. I thought it was going to be a 2-1 away win to Brighton. And again, indeed, it was an away win, but only 1-0. Southampton at home to Leicester. I was predicting an away win for Leicester 2-0. And then I was watching the results and Southampton took the lead by 2-0. I thought, oh, I got this completely wrong. But Leicester clawed it back and actually won 3-2 in the end. So a great result for them, but a terrible result for Southampton once again. And the surprise of Saturday evening was Bournemouth at home to Arsenal. I thought it was going to be an easy Arsenal away win, 3-1, but ended up being a glorious home win for Bournemouth, 2-0. Then into Sunday's games, Wolves against Manchester City. I was looking at a Man City win, 3-1. It ended up being a Man City 2-1 win. One of the fixtures that I did get 100% right in terms of the scoreline, Liverpool at home to Chelsea was 2-1, and I predicted 2-1 as well. And the Monday night game, Nottingham Forest at home to Crystal Palace, I was predicting a 2-0, but it ended up being a 1-0 win. So great stuff from Forest. I think they're up to 8th in the league now. So my predictions were 70% right. So not too bad. Each week getting better and better. But really, really, you've got to look at these top 6 or 7 teams now, 8 teams, and who is going to be jockeying for position for the top 4 slots, and which team right now is looking most likely to take the title. And yes, I know it's really early in the season, but you got to look at trends. You just got to look at the way they're playing and how resilient they are. And I've said this about Manchester City, you've always got to have them in there. They're always in that prime position. They're the only team this season who has not lost. Liverpool are right up there with them as well. They've had one defeat this season, of course, but Arsenal, they've dropped a couple of points here and there, and they've had that defeat now as well. So you could say that Arsenal are just off the pace right now. And obviously, anything can happen the next week, the week after, when the big teams, when the teams that are right at the top of the league, when they start playing each other, if they drop points. And you would imagine that they are going to drop points throughout the season. But in terms of performances, in terms of sometimes winning ugly and winning when you're struggling, Man City and Liverpool are the 2 forces in the Premier League. And all the other teams, let's say in the top 8, are just looking for those final 2 places there. I would not be surprised if Aston Villa are right there at the end of the season, because they're another great team. They are playing really, really well, not only in the Premier League, but also in Europe as well. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you like what I do here, well, just keep on watching the videos. But for me, West Ham need to do a lot better. Back to school for them. And Manchester City and Liverpool, well, it's all guns blazing for them. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll catch you again. Bye now.